All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is Wednesday, December 9th, 2015, and the title of tonight's webinar is Using Viper Lightning for Trade Decisions. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading rooms, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar, other webinars we have, our live trading room, or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should ever be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? Because if not, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, I don't see any. So let's go ahead and get started here. Now, if you want, what we'll do tonight is I'll go ahead and show the 2-4 Renko. I think I've got a 2-4 Renko here. Let me check here. Yeah, 2-4-1. And then over here, I've got a 4 range. Okay, just so we can kind of see it in real time, you know, what actually happens with, you know, the market replay, and also how to draw the lightning on the chart too. Okay, now the first thing that I like to personally do when I get ready to trade is if I don't draw on my charts, I'm definitely going to at least make sure that in my head I know where these areas are. Support, resistance, all that, right? Okay, so let me get another chart here just real quick. Okay, and let's look at it. Now, I did this a few weeks ago and even months ago in a webinar so that you could pretty much see what's going on. And we can kind of tell by looking even at these numbers that are on this chart right here, very possibly where this could be heading next, can't we? Because look, for instance, all they really did when they came up here to this 81, if you scroll across here, see they checked that swing at 79, okay? And then they hit their head and then they started heading down a little bit, didn't they? They got probably a bounce right here at Phantom. We don't know for sure just yet, but more than likely it bounced at Phantom, went up to mid-band, gives you a good trade, right? We teach that trade all the time too. That was also a support area. But now what's going on the chart, and if you draw your lightning on it, and I'll have to draw it manually because we don't have anything that will do this just yet, but it's coming. We're going to get it to where it'll draw these lightning on these a priori MTFs, and it'll be probably in January. All right, but that's kind of telling you right there so far that they're basically doing a 1, 2, 3, like we teach a lot of times in our webinars. So what I like to do then is look like right in through here. I always look to the left to trade the right, as always. And I see some swings across there anyway, 59.60, swing here, you know, that we already know is identified. So basically, until it takes out this resistance here, it's not really heading back up. If it hits its head at resistance here, then obviously we could even look for very possibly a short trade. Charles and I teach this all the time. You know, when you're under mid-band, you come back and kiss mid-band, you can box them in. You can actually take the resistance kisses. You know, even though the background's still green here, but then kind of transition here, this is telling you that this could be a trend change. Okay, that's our software telling you this because we've got the transitional color here, and we've also got the mid-band that's transitioning, and it's basically chop. That's what that's telling you when that's yellow like that. If it's green, this lime green, or even blue, it's telling you that it's an uptrend. Okay, when it's sideways like this, it's just choppy and naturally can go either direction. Okay, but this is what I like to do on my charts. Now let's go back to the original chart. Bear with me a second and see if we can't see this basically on these prices too. You notice these, same thing, I just drew it a second ago. Let's just draw it again. We'll draw it from here to here, and then down to here. Okay, and right now we also know that it's come back and pretty much kissed here. Well, we didn't have that on that other chart yet because it hadn't given another number. Okay, that also is a little swing here, even on your micro. Let's go ahead and draw our micro so you can see it. And let me get this bigger right here. All right, so this is telling me the way I figure lightning and the way the indicator is designed is that this is your high, this was your low, and then it took out the low. We call that an identified swing. This is not identified, never took out the low. This is not identified, never took out the low. And this is not even identified, has never taken out the low. Everybody sees that, right? Now that's important to be able to see that, because when they're bouncing off support, for instance, at this 38, which you could easily go long on, there's our December contract rollover. I'll just go ahead and say don't show it again. By the way, a real quick heads up on this. If you're trying to load charts in the morning and these silly pop-ups come up, do you know that if your chart tries to come up and this is behind a chart, you can't even shut Ninja down? I hate these pop-ups. Anyway, to me, this is one of those deals, like if you have a problem with Ninja that all of a sudden is not loading correctly or something like that, and your charts freeze up, this thing right here you can't even turn off because it'll be behind a chart somewhere. Okay, so usually when I see these first time, I just simply click the little deal, say don't show me that again, and then get rid of it, and now it won't pop up again. The predictor is in the current package, yes, Hardy. It absolutely is. If you haven't changed that out, let me know, because I'll be happy to help you with that. Okay, now everybody sees what I'm talking about right here, right? If you look at this, let's go ahead and get rid of all the lightning on it. You can clearly see that we drew it correctly. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the lightning that I drew manually, and then we'll get rid of the lightning up here. All right, but I think if you look at this and start doing it even in your homework, so to speak, you can clearly see what lightning does on a chart. Okay, see how that's, when was this swing identified? I mean, at the time, we don't know. That's what it's doing right then, right? But we know that when it takes that out with a close, that swing's identified, right? That's how you draw those. Draw them in your mind or however you need to draw them, okay? I'll go ahead and draw this to make sure we have plenty of time to do this. We know that's the identified swing, right? We know that it had a little pop-up, not much of one, and then it rolled over again. When did this become an identified swing? When that bar closed right there. So now we have this, right? Okay. And then when does this swing right here become identified? When it takes out this swing area right here with that bar. So this is what the chart's looking like by drawing lightning on it manually. Okay. Now to look at this, isn't this the identified swing right there? Okay. For this, any of this to become an identified swing, they'd have to hit resistance, roll over, and take out the bottom. Okay, if they don't take out the bottom, you're no longer heading down, but you're also not heading up until you take out this identified swing. Okay, now watch what it did. It actually goes up a little bit. Now, when this actually closed above here, you got what we call micro lightning. See it right here? That's not enough to convince me usually to go long, by the way. I would have gone long down here at Phantom to begin with. You know we'd call that. Because what did it do? Came down and kissed a 12 range support. So that was obviously a good trade. Okay? But anytime you trade Phantom, what's the rule? Everybody remember the rule on Phantom? If you go from Phantom to midband. Okay? If you get to midband in a roundabout way or however long it takes to get there, watch what it does. See, that's resistance right there. You can clearly see it. Doesn't take out support. And there's your midband trade right there. Okay? Notice when they hit that midband right there that they didn't take out that swing right there. That's your identified swing. Okay? Now on the other side of this chart, yes, it is starting to head up, right? You've got a low here, a high here, a higher low, barely. And when that's equal like that, I don't count that. See how that you could draw a line underneath there? Let me just bring it down. Hopefully don't get anything affecting my Ninja here. Why is my line not moving? Okay, we'll draw it that way. All right, you can clearly see that's the same low. So you have to get another thrust and retrace, and now we don't have that at all. So technically this swing here is not identified, okay, until this one is, because it took this out. But so far, this is the swing that's identified. This one's not identified because it's not taking out any highs yet, okay? Now, as we're trading though, you realize that that's resistance right there, and that's not a bad area to look for a short, okay? Because that is resistance right there, and we know it because it's an identified swing. So when it hit it here, for instance, could you short that for a quick profit? Yes. Do which one again, Craig? Because I'll be happy to go over this until everybody sees it. Because we're going to do some trades here in just a few minutes, but I want everybody to realize what lightning is, because it's like any kind of stair steps, to give an example. See how this went stair stepping down and then it dropped precipitously, but that's still the lightning swing right there. Now, this one was taken out, so technically this is your low here, right? So in other words, you took out this little area right across here. That still won't move for me. Right across there, pops up through it, doesn't take out the low, pops up again, okay? So this is like an identified swing here too, right? As you're heading up. Not sure exactly what is happening to my lines. It may, I'll bet I know what it is actually, because these lines need data moving, to do these little numbers and stuff, and we've got it paused right now. So that's probably what it is. So I'll fix that. All right. Does everybody see though where this is your identified swing? So in other words, if you were going to head up, they would need to take this swing out, come back and kiss it, and then take off. Okay. If it's not going to head up, it's going to hold this swing right here because that's your identified swing straight to the left. And notice how it hit its head so far. Okay. So let's see about trading it and see what we can get on it. We'll put it in about 3 or 4 times normal speed, not 15 or so, just about 4 or 5 maybe. See, that's my resistance right there. Okay, if I get a bar close to the downside, I'm going to go ahead and take this. Now keep in mind, I'm doing this only because this is sideways, so I can trade both sides of this. And right now my resistance held so far. As soon as that bar closes, we'll be in a trade. If it closes up, we won't get a trade. Okay. Now if we get the trade, let's look at our lightning to see if we can stay in the trade. Okay. All right, we got the trade. You probably want to put your stop just above here. I wouldn't personally do this like a reverse, because what happens when you reverse, they'll barely come up here and take this out. They'll pull back all the way to support, then they'll take off. Okay. What you want, if this is going to head back up, since I've made a decision to go short, I've got to have a thrust up and a retrace. So I'll just let them take me out of the trade if this decides to take this out. All right. Now let's see if we can stay with lightning as this trade progresses. Draw my lightning. We'll go ahead and get one out of the way. Looks like a pretty good area right there where that ellipse is, doesn't it? Okay, now is this swing identified right here? Yes, it is, isn't it? So could we put our stop right there? Yes. okay, because that's an identified micro swing. That's telling me that that's okay to do that. Look at that nice trade. All right, you'd want to bank some coin down here, but we've only got one left to begin with, so we're okay. We'll go ahead and get this out of the way. We'll watch lightning. Now see, lightning hadn't even drawn yet. Look, I'm going to pause this for a second. Does anybody know why lightning hasn't drawn yet? You think, wow, wait a minute. It drew here, it drew here, it drew here. But you just answered the question. It didn't do that. It hasn't done that. Little stair stepping has it. So lightning can't draw just yet because it's got to have at least a bar up and a rollover, even on lightning 1. Okay, so let's see if we can stay in this trade. And when it gives up the ghost, we'll get out of it. Now, naturally, you'd bring your stop to right where lightning is, right? We're trying to get another lower lightning if we can. Wow, that is slow. It's pretty good right there. Didn't close below it just yet, but that's a little lightning swing. When they make this thrust like that, a lot of times if this doesn't even close, if you want to protect your coin, go ahead and do it right there. Okay, if this closes, that'll definitely identify this. But otherwise, if you don't do it there, it's going to go all the way back up here where it broke down at least. So see, you can be out of this trade with these micro little moves. Stayed in so far. And it looks like we're going to be more than likely out of the trade. Where is the left if we want to do another trade on here? Where did it just break down? Where did I just say that it just broke down? Right across there. So if this stops me out, could I get ready to take it if it just happens to hit this line right here? Now, when it doesn't go up to midband, if it doesn't go up to midband, it might. But if it doesn't, this is my left right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simply go for a little scalp, because when you don't get at least to midband, okay, and we don't know if we're going to or not, but if this hits its head here at this line and I want to take a quick trade, okay, that's the way I would do it. Now, if it gets to midband, instead, we'll give it a little bit more contracts. Everybody sees why on that, right? Because this midband right here is a phenomenal indicator that's really gauging all this price. Okay. See if we can get up there to that line. If we don't, it's no big deal because I won't take it otherwise. That's also the ellipse. Didn't quite get up there, did it? Not yet, anyway. We're still waiting. That's my swing right there. That's where it broke down from. That's my resistance on lightning. Now, if it blows through it, you know this isn't going to fire, right? Because it'll have to close down to fire. Now, in a trade like this, I would probably be pretty selective that I don't want to take out this resistance right here. Okay? And all we want to do on this trade right here is just check our lightning. Okay, here's your little scalp right here at that swing, and there's your other one at that swing. That's the way you could trade that. Now, we don't want to be taken out of this, and obviously if we do, we're going to give up a little bit because bar rollovers will give up. I personally like to a lot of times just watch that line right there, and if I see it even get within a tick or so, you just hit the sell button. Okay, we're going to tighten this stop. Because so far we have not gone to midband yet. These trades like this will Actually put some coin in your trading account. But anytime you take these micro type when they're moving down like this, you want to really be careful and just kind of scalp them, because what are you doing on a retracement type trade? You're going from resistance to support. Now, once they start stair stepping again, then you're looking for resistance to support again. That's the same trade that we'd take every single time. As soon as it closes below this, there's your swing right there at 42. Not yet, though. It hasn't closed. That's good enough. Okay? Now we're either going to get our target, which is at a swing. Okay? Now we got that scalp. Now if you look at this chart right here, if it doesn't take out this swing right here, what have we not had on this chart? You went from green to yellow to magenta. We're looking for a mid-band trade. Of course, I may have gotten out prematurely because I could still ride a runner, couldn't I? Because my stop was right there. But you don't have to, because you'd be surprised how many people would like to have just simply this on a nice trade like this. Okay? But let's see if we can get some more. Looking to the left to trade the right. Okay, we have a swing here. Let's look at an a priori and see if we can come up with one. Here's another nice swing right here. See, looking to the left, that's a 12 range swing. And look how close that is to mid-band. So where's our next trade on this chart? It's at mid-band. It's taking out resistance here. It didn't take out the low, so this is not identified swings as of yet. You can use sniper here. You can use anything you want, but watch for the resistance type kiss. You know, it's already kissed here, so where's it more than likely going to kiss? Looking to the left to trade the right, possibly even right here. I'll draw another line. Like so. Everybody see why on that? If you draw lightning, you'll see it. See that high, low, higher high? That established that. Never established this one here, did it? So that's a swing right there. This is a swing right here. This established as a high, but it's already checked it twice. It's actually checked it 3 times. So what do you think they're more than likely going to do? Well, they're doing the old dance down, so you need a lower high than this one. Thrust, retrace, thrust. So the way the software is saying right now, it's saying, okay, if I don't take this out right here, I'm not heading up. That's my medium swing. Everybody see that? You can draw the line. It's just like thrust, retrace, thrust. Okay? We draw a line at 48. It's got to at least hit 48. Turn it on bar close. See if we can get us a little trade. Hadn't got it yet. Hadn't got a bar close. That looks like that's going to be it. You can tell by looking at the bar. When they push like that, they usually get it. All right, now where would your stop be on this trade right now based on what we see on the chart? Let's get rid of some lightning and see if we can show just that. All right, I'm going to get rid of this lightning. I'm going to get rid of this lightning. All right, let's look at our chart. We've got a thrust, a retrace. All right, so that is a swing that shouldn't be taken out if we're going to head down. If they're going to take it out, we're more than likely going to head up, right? We need a lower high here, but we need a scalp before we change this. Now my 12 is above here, so I feel pretty confident with this trade. unless it just blows up through here, and then it will take me out. Okay, looking at lightning. Still haven't got a scalp yet. Still have not got a scalp yet. Why mid-band now, David? At 7, whatever time that is, 7 something? Because that's first time in the mid-band after a trend change. Looks like we might get a scalp. We might. Thrust, retrace, thrust. That's your little swing right there. Turns out to be my 5 ticks. So we're either going to get it or it's going to bounce there a little bit. But we have not gotten our scalp yet. Let's speed it up a little bit. I don't know what this does, but let's find out. If it gets my scalp, you can go ahead and tighten your stop if you want to. But look to the left like we did a minute ago, and let's see where lightning is over here even. Let's draw it. Yeah, too big. Draw this one. All right, high, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, big time lower, low. So your swing is right across here, and your next swing is right across there. And that's telling you that if it takes this out, you could very well head up. But if it doesn't take this out, you should be able to head down. Well, we got our scalp. Okay. Now, if you get a scalp like this, you can go ahead and bring your, because we haven't closed below this, just barely, this 1 bar. So I'll go ahead and bring that stop right across there. Well, not yet. This one right here. See it? High, low, lower, high, lower, low. So that's my lightning. And if it takes us out, it takes us out because that is our lightning swing. Okay, that got us right there. We've got a high right here. This happens quite a bit when you're trading, by the way. That's your resistance area right there on your chart. See it right there? I've got my line drawn, and we're in. Resistance held. This one I'm going to protect because if it takes that out, it is definitely going to head up. Everybody see why that was taken, by the way? That was resistance right up there. That was a good trade to look for. We had the line drawn on the chart for what? For a reason. Okay. What if you're the type of trader that wants to even make a little bit more money? Well, you do realize that if it breaks this support right here, you could actually be ready to add because this is no longer heading up if it does. See that swing there? That's identified from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a swing right there. Could I get ready like that and even add if I wanted to? Yes. Okay. I got a little bit too quick because I didn't wait for my close of my bar. Okay. But I hit market, so we'll stick with it. If it closes below this swing right here and below this one right here, this swing will be identified right here. So obviously, you'd probably want to bring your stop as soon as we get a top kind of identified, at least across this side. I'll trust that one. That didn't identify this swing right here, by the way. This one is identified over here, though. Wow, that was close, wasn't it? Exit on close. It's a good feature. What if, whoop, we got taken out of that one? Where's resistance at? It's right there. I'm in again, by the way. And whoops, that's only one contract. So I like at least duplicates on this. So let's see if we can add one. And it's getting a little rocky, but that's okay because it's still not taking out the previous resistance. Takes out this swing here with the close of the bar. I'll go ahead and add. Okay. Always look to your left to trade the right. There's a swing right there. We'll look at lightning and see if we can tell where this trade might be heading, right? Look to the left to trade the right. Get that target out of the way totally. It looks like it's going to break. Does everybody remember this trade? I showed this on my son's account this morning. This was an actual live trade. And it got very good. And then we also called the long in the room. Remember that? Look where your lightning is trying to head. Trust lightning. Okay? See how you can do that? Now, what if you walked in the room, though, and you said, oh, my goodness, this trade is just going to town, okay? But where do you think some other areas are that you could get in this trade? Don't you think very possibly when it breaks right across here that it's going to come back and kiss it? See if we can add, if it does. All right, we've got lightning right here. That's identified, right? So if this is going to come back, it can't take out this lightning, can it? Can't take out that lightning if it's going to head down. As soon as that bar closes, I'm in. There we go. We just got 2 more contracts. Lightning. Three is probably enough. If this takes this out right here, you've got resistance right there also. What do we expect if we're going to get lower highs and lower lows? We've got to have lower highs and lower lows. And obviously, these little swings hold. That's why I like lightning as much as I do, because you can add some serious coin to your bottom line. All right. Where's this been earlier? Right down here. So you could probably fade it. Right? You've got another set of swings here. And we've got 3 contracts, so we could actually put, well, we got 2 in, on this one, so I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably get rid of 1 right there, though, like that, and then ride your 2. Okay, where would our stop go right now, everyone? They're cool tools, aren't they, John? Absolutely. People try to make things so difficult in trading. I studied trading since I had appliance stores way back in well, I had them in the 70s, but even in the 80s, when I was trading stocks and everything, I read every book I could get my hands on. MACD, you name it, I was studying it. And, there's nothing better than just watching the good old trend. Where's it at right now? It's at resistance. Where's the identified resistance? Is right across here on lightning. So it can't take that out. If this is going to head down, that is where it can't take it out. That is your lightning. And when it starts taking that out, guess what? You're no longer heading down. It's really that simple. You want to try it again even? See, well, we got 4 contracts. That's pretty salty even on YM. Let's see if we bounce at 512 or what we do here. This is lightning 1 that I'm showing on the chart right now, Chris. When it's doing, what you really want to do with lightning is watch and see how the swings are formed. Okay. Now, lightning 2, if you did it from up here, for instance, and let me go from here so it's different color. There's lightning 2 right there, and see your swing is right there. That's getting ready to be identified. See, it just got identified. Okay. Now, let me ask you a quick question. Where do you think more than likely this thing is going to come back and check? it's going to come back and check where it broke down, right? And that's each time it does that, is when you want to add contracts or take away contracts, just like I talked about in the room this morning. Let's see where we're heading here. Okay, we haven't even taken out 497 yet. Look how Lightning's trying to tell you where to put your stop. It's already here, isn't it? So you could bring it there. It's going to be here in a minute if it takes out this low. Not yet. Still not yet. Still not yet. Okay, that looks like that's going to be it. See it? Kind of forcing it down. That's a pretty good area to take some coin, don't you think? At 96, don't you think it'll bounce a little bit? And now you're riding 3. Where would your stop be on this trade? Well, it would obviously be right there, wouldn't it? Right at Lightning. This is a pretty good way to trade. I showed this in the room this morning. I think it was up 3 something, if I remember right, when I finished showing it right before the market opened. And that's where you want to always protect your coin, because if the market opens, they do different things. Where's Lightning go now? Right there. Let's draw us a trend line. I like trend lines myself. Lightning's still there. Micro resistance is right there. Lightning is right there. Got 3 left on. You can always take 1 off. Now I'm running this pretty quick, but obviously if it takes the swing out, we're going to be out of this trade, right? And look at it hit that trend line perfectly. You don't have to give all this up, by the way. It's going to retrace. You can tell it's doing it. So just hit the close button. Okay? Because what happens if you don't? Well, when they do that, where they hit a trend line or something like that, they hit a major area of support. See what it's doing? It take you out anyway. So there's really no reason staying with that, right? All right, it took us out anyway, if you even use the Lightning, right? So you're out of the trade. Now you've got resistance right up here at mid-band, right? Now what I was talking about earlier, you want to be careful of is when they do these moves like this. I don't trust mid-band as much when they do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 bars or so straight up. That's usually a pretty good indication that the shorties are through, okay? See there, they're pretty much through there. All right, let's look at our Lightning. High, low, lower high, lower low. That's our micro Lightning. This is a little bit more secondary right across here. Okay. We missed that one just then on the little rollover. That's okay. All right, now what do Charles and I talk about a lot of times though, if you want to do it? Okay, see what it's doing right now? It's oscillating around mid-band. That's that favorite trade of his. Okay, we got support right there. Got resistance right there. So could you be ready to take that if it does decide to break that? Because if it does, it's probably going up here. You want to do that? All right, let's do it. At least try to get the phantom, right? Stop's going to be just right under here just in case, because this is counter trend. but it also broke a little region. You know, the little boxes we talk about. You don't have to draw them. You'll see them when they break. Okay. Now, what I would probably do on this trade right here is go ahead and go one more set of contracts if it bounces off this line right here, because it already broke the little region. So we're lightening up right now, right? We're looking at lightning. See the little lightning right here? That's where your stop would be, just underneath the lightning. And we're in a total of 4. Okay? As soon as it pops above here, if it does, then we'll put our stop right underneath this lightning. Actually, right here, as soon as it takes out this high. Getting close. No cigar yet, though, is there? Now, guess what? If it did decide to go ahead and go down, you know what you could do? Put it a little bit below the swing, like on top of the previous support, and you could turn this on. If that happens to break that, we could head back down. So we're actually counter trim, but we're only counter trim because it broke a little consolidation patch above midband, like we teach. And we got one target. Okay. Notice how we just hit phantom right here. Now, what would you do if this was to come back and kiss a support area, which is really important of what you want to do? Okay, because this looks like it's going to break up now, doesn't it? So what you want to do is you want to wait and see. There's support right there on top of this little swing. All right. Could you also box this little area in too? Well, let's wait for a little retrace and see if we can get it. Now, by the way, you could have shorted this phantom, but you're getting awful close to the open of the market. Okay. Here we go. See if we can get down like right into this area right here. Secondary lightning, Ron, is more of a secondary swing. It's just a secondary swing is all it is. Okay, now we've got a thrust retrace. Here's support right here. You want to see if we can get that? There's support right there. See it come right to support like we thought it would? Now, does it mean we won't get taken out? It's right at the open, too. I think you remember probably when we drew our little boxes. See how that came down perfectly to like support? They don't always come to exactly to the tick. That's why you got to be watching for it. Of course, where's our lightning right now? Well, it's right underneath there. Now, let me ask you a quick question. What if you missed this trade? Because we miss trades all the time. I mean, it's just the nature of trading. You're not going to catch every single trade. Actually, we've got support right there. I don't think I'd let them close it. You want it to bounce there. If they take out this high, we'll have a lightning, but we don't just yet. See how that wicked that? Now, if you think about a smaller bar, that technically closed above that swing. So you could count that as a swing, but you'll find that you'll get wicked out more than you'll stay in good trades. If this takes me out right here, then I'll go ahead and gladly get out of this trade. Okay, I'm out. All right, now where do you think this trade is more than likely going to go again? Let's get rid of lightning. Hopefully I can catch this trade. Let's see if we can. Get rid of lightning. Rid of lightning. I think I just missed it. See where it came right down to there? Well, I for sure missed that one. Don't do that. I just did the wrong thing. I went waiting on a bar close and the thing just shot up like a little bullet, that's when you get these bad fills. So what I would do in a case like this would be go like right there, that's my lightning, because I just got a bad trade, and if it takes me out, I don't care, because that's my lightning swing right there, and I'm not going to let them hurt me. I wanted that trade right down here. You saw me trying to draw the line. See that little yellow bar probe setting up right there? Didn't come quite down to mid-band, did it? Support is right there at mid-band. See if we can get it. It's close enough right there. Bar close to the upside. I'll be in. Support right here. That's perfect little entry. See it come right down to support. Remember that trade we called in the room this morning? But again, what do you do if you miss a decent trade? You've got to wait for these little tiny retraces. Okay, look to the left to check your stop. Stop's going to go right there now, isn't it? Yep. See how easy that is to do? Even if you make the wrong decision, don't let them, for instance, when I put that under here, I did that because I accidentally tried to get in here, but I got in on a little thrust. Well, then don't let them kill you, because when this kind of barely went up here and made this little lightning swing right here, I decided to go ahead and take it out and then go back in instead. Okay, and that's pretty important, because if you don't get a proper fill, then go ahead and watch for this type of trade. This was an incredible trade this morning. I know everybody remembers this. And it was called live too. Now, does everybody see on this chart where if you are not in a trade yet, let me just move this out of the way for a second while I can talk. Don't you think that this is support right here? Right there at 47? Didn't quite get down to it. I missed it. That's okay. If you miss one, you miss one. I've still got 2 contracts on. I'm fine. Stop's going to be right. Not yet. Yep, right there. That's my lightning swing. Okay, what if you missed it again? We talk about this all the time, and Charles and I talk about these areas. Where do you think it's going to come back to? It just broke resistance. Don't you think it's going to kiss it as support? Like right there? I draw 2 lines on my chart. Let me get my stops out of the way for just a minute. Now, your stop wouldn't be down here, obviously, but I want to show you something. All right, let's look at here. We got lightning. Draw it if you don't see it. I'll draw it. All right, high, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. This is a swing right here. See it right there? Could you have bought that right there? Sure. And then just take some coin off when it gets to the top. It's that quick to make some pretty serious coin. Notice how I just went ahead and grabbed this. Even though we're doing this thing at 10 or 12 times, that still hit perfectly where we wanted it to hit. Okay. Now, what do you think more than likely it's going to do again the next time when and if it pulls back? It's going to pull back into one of those support areas, isn't it? See it? Right there, it just did. Everybody sees that, right? I'll draw the line if you don't. It's right there. It just came down perfectly to it. That's your identified, what I call your secondary swing, a little bit larger swing. And this is your micro one that did close above this swing. So you could actually literally put your stop right there. Okay? See how perfectly it comes down to those lines, though? If you draw on your charts like this, and you're going to find also that when they break these, that they're going to come back and check a medium swing. Okay, see how beautiful this is actually heading up? Now our stop, I moved it purposely out of the way, but obviously your stop would be right up here, wouldn't it? Or could you actually put it here and maybe put a sniper line instead under your micro swing? Let me show you how to do that. We'll do a sniper line. Like if it takes out this swing to the downside, like right here, all right, what if we just wanted to take one of those three off? Well, we could do that. We just simply set it for close below that line. A short, I can go ahead and take off like one. All right, if that closes below that, it'll get rid of one contract. Notice how it just wicked it. But I protected my trade, didn't I? See, I've still got three contracts on. Took out this swing right here, so this is your identified swing. You could always do it like this now. This is your new swing. Hit your enter button and do it here instead. Got to take out that swing. As soon as it closes above here, you do it there. Hit your enter button. And by the way, if you want to get out of more than one, you can always just turn that on like that. If it closes below it, it'll get rid of two contracts. See there? Where's support on this chart? I expect a higher low or no more than a touch, and I think I just missed it. Get another chance, it looks like. What about boxing it in? What about boxing it in instead? You could do that. There's a little swing right there. You could simply, there we go. We just got another contract added on again. As soon as it takes out this little swing, we'll put our stop underneath the new swing that's identified, which is right there. So the support levels are pretty well defined by the software of the people that are trading these with those megabuck contracts. You think they might be using lightning somehow? I'm gonna go ahead and bring it right underneath here. As soon as it takes this out, we'll bring it to here. There we go. Takes out support. I could go ahead and do a sniper again, close of the bar. Take out two of my three just in case. Haven't taken out our high yet. Still okay. Go ahead and bring it under there. Hit enter again. If it takes out a close, I'll be out of two. If it holds there, we'll still hold the three. Took two out. Could I get ready if I wanted to, just in case this decides to break? Well, sure. It looks like it's going to do it on its own here. Could I just click buy if it goes up there at the top? I just did. Because what was that doing? It came right down to support and bounced. Okay, so all I did was jumped right back in when it came back to support, and then when it took this out here, I just added those two contracts. You know, don't be like a deer in the headlights when you see this kind of movement, because it's still, no matter how big or how small the movement is, it's always looking at lightning, always looking at the swings. And that's why every bit of our software identifies these swings. Okay, see it pulling back a little bit? What did it hit? It hit our ellipse. Where's it going to hit its head? Where do you think it'll hit its head, everyone? Should hit on top of those yellow bars, shouldn't it? Pretty close. Like right across here. Let's get rid of sniper for just a minute. Where is support on this chart? Right across there. Now I've already got three, so I probably wouldn't add again, but that is support. If you walk into a room and you see that they're dallying around with a higher, stepping up and everything, and they come down to a support level, and you want to go ahead and take it, you can take those. This may just go ahead and head up anyway. Whoa, I got to get my target out of the way. When they don't come down like that, you almost have to take the little break. See where it broke right here? Lightning right across there. Now, normally they don't run quite this quick, but I do have this running pretty fast. Okay, now where would our stop be, obviously, on this chart? As soon as it closes above that swing right there, it'd be right there. Or we could use Sniper instead if we want to just get out of a contract or so. See, because that just took us out right there. But is that a good area to get out of this trade? Yep, it took out my lightning. Now, where has it not tested just yet? Let's look and see. Thrust, retrace. That one never came down to these areas right here. Okay, you had a big thrust, retrace, thrust. Okay, so this is your swing here, right? Your larger swing, more of your, now not medium swing, so to speak, but maybe like a secondary swing. But what if they come down right on top of that 22 area right there and decide to bounce? Let's see if we can get it. All right, we already got taken out because we got taken out of lightning. So we're looking for a deeper retrace. And that's where I'd be looking for it right there. That's a line 3 trade. And looking to the left to trade the right, it can't take out this swing right here. High, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So that's your secondary swing. See what I mean by secondary? Thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. So that's your primary swing on what the little bit larger one, you know, the Lightning 2, and then this is your secondary one. So I expect it to hit its head right on top of that swing right there. And that's where I'd be looking for a trade. Let's see, can you use a Sniper as a target at a resistance area so it bounces off resistance, takes you out, but it blows through, it doesn't? Yeah, you can, Jeff, yes. Gonna get ready to take this again. That's right at my resistance, support, pardon me. Okay, I'm in. No scalp yet, so we don't have our stop moved. Still didn't get a scalp. Now, where do we say it can't go below? Well, it can't go below that secondary swing if it's going to stay going up. If we get a scalp, we'll go ahead and bring our stop as soon as we get a lightning forming. Bounce right where we thought it would. Closes above here, lightning. Isn't that lightning right there? And we'll take it out based on lightning too, won't we? We got a scalp. That's a swing right across there. Probably ought to be protecting some coins, see it? See how it hit that swing right there? I wouldn't let them go any lower than where they broke out. See the thrust, retrace, thrust. If that takes me out right there, then that trade's done. Does it mean you couldn't get back in it though? No, because now you're pretty much going sideways. This is where you want to trade. This is where I drew in the room this morning, remember? We drew these lines right there live in the room so that people, if they wanted to, could take another trade. Look at that right there off that little ellipse. See it right there? It bounced. And now all you're doing is going between support and resistance. and we won't let them take us out based on lightning. Now you can also, when they're starting to do something like this, if they hit resistance and they roll, you can also take these like this, but be very careful because this is an uptrend, but it is starting to chop around, isn't it? That's resistance, that's support down here. Okay, see if we can get something on this. Selling resistance and buying support. And we got it, looks like. Got them on both times. Okay, what are you looking for now? Ellipse. Watch it, see if it doesn't do it. There's support right there. I think I missed that one. I tried to get that bar but couldn't get it. Got it anyway. That's support. It's already hit this resistance right here. So don't you think more than likely it'll probably, on one of your contracts, go up? We'll put that one at resistance right there at that lightning. And I haven't got my scalp just yet, so I'm not going to let them take this stop with just wicking this. There we go. That's good enough. See how they try to wick you out? Then just move your, if it's only a couple of ticks or so, don't let them take you out, because all they did is check that support right there. Remember those in the room this morning? Drew those lines right there on the charts so that you can absolutely trade them. There are a lot of traders out there that watch for these exact trades right here. There's your top, just got a lower high. You could even do something like this if you want to. See the lightning swing that's identified? Now, to me, I don't like this way as much, because look where I got in that trade. So you didn't get any kind of a trade at all. Well, we got a scalp. But wouldn't it be better to short resistance instead of waiting for that lightning to be broken right there when it's going sideways like this? Got a lightning swing right here. Takes that out. Wow. It's like taking candy from a baby. Stop's going to be right there. Stop's going to be right here as soon as it takes out the high. It hadn't done it just yet. Your lightning's not identified. It should be any moment. It's got to close above there. David, you know, that's one thing, what you're saying there, that is a very, very good observation, because when you're looking at one chart, you're seeing everything on that chart. There's too many people that try to just take every herky-jerk reaction that the market gives it, instead of actually looking at the chart as things are happening in real time. Because we know where support was. I mean, I drew these lines down here earlier, and look where it came right down to and hit. Then it popped up and hit resistance. Then it made a little higher low, so then we moved our line up. And look where it hit again, long. Short technically there, but you don't have to short it. You can stay with the trend. But look at that, hits resistance, comes back down and hits support. Breaks again. What is it doing? Well, guess what? It's heading up again. Everybody see that, right? I really don't think you can go wrong trading this way. Okay. Now, let me ask you another quick question here. What if you missed this trade? Where do you think there's another trade setting up on this chart? If it takes out, what, 52? I mean, we clearly saw resistance up here, right? Our stop would definitely be under here. That's your lightning. Okay, well, what if you walked in the room and it was 9:03? You said, doggone it, I've was at work and everything, and Gary called these trades, or Charles did in the room, and look at this monster money, but I've missed out on it. Have you really? Because isn't there always a trade around the corner? What do you think is going to happen as we look at this chart, like right now? Lightning, almost. Support. Pullback. Wait. May not get it. May not get it. See if we can get a little pullback. Got to get a pullback first. You can't just jump into these things willy-nilly. You got to wait for the pullback. But that's all the way up to what, 71? All right, if you were in it long from earlier, you just got taken out anyway. Lightning got you. But where are we expecting it to pull back to? Right there at that line. Okay, now I didn't get a pullback quite like I wanted, so I've got three total. Let's see if we can get anything on this trade. Came back into this support. See it? High, low, higher high. So that's pretty much your lightning. And all they did is take you out. And this would be another good area to look to get in if they happen to come down a little bit first. Good little pop up, huh? What if you missed it again? Got a higher low just then. And that was a little worse fill than I wanted. I wanted it right there, actually, but that's okay. We'll take it. Target's up here at the ellipse. Stop will be right under here as soon as it closes above the swing right there. Lightning, there it is. Even there. Now, if you want to really protect this instead, use the lightning down here instead, which is right there. See it? So they don't wick you out of these trades. That's your true lightning right here on your secondary. As soon as it pops above here, if it does, then you'd have a new stop right here anyway. Everybody sees that, right? What if you wanted to add contracts? What if it shoots right above here and I wanted to add like that? I could put a sniper line on to take off a couple, three. Bear with it just a second. That was some movement from the big guys, it looked like to me, because that is what will slow Object Trader down. And I've got my programmer working on it, but unfortunately, I don't think it's something that's going to be fixed that easily because they actually hog those servers. There is no way around it. They hog them. Stop will be right underneath. Not yet. Right there. Lightning. As soon as it closes above here, bring your stop right underneath there. Everybody get a little picture of how to do this tonight watching lightning? Because I'm here to tell you, and by the way, remember in the room this morning, I called this trade out. Remember that thrust like that? I just simply hit close as soon as it took out that little swing right here, or you could put that right there. No reverse, obviously. Because remember I said it in live real time that had gone up like 7, 8 bars in a row, and I was not going to give them back all the way down to one of these support areas because I'd already made some decent coin on it. There you go, you're out. It's really that easy. Okay? And if you look at this chart right now, where's your next trade on this chart? Conservative or aggressive? All right, and then I'm going to wrap because we're 10 minutes over. I want to show you where Lightning's at. Lightning is right there. What do we expect if we're going to head up? We expect between those two lines a trade, don't we? We don't want to take out that line right there because that's our identified Lightning. Now, it could actually take it out a little bit, which is called wicking. Okay? You can also get ready to trade this with our region. Okay, look at Lightning right here, and then we're going to wrap here in just a moment. I want to show you how to do a region real quick before we close. Wouldn't your region be right here as soon as it forms a lightning bolt? Wouldn't your region be right there right this very moment? Now it could be even lower. There's resistance right there. Wow, that's a good little pullback. Hopefully it's not trend change. We don't want to short. I'll take 2 contracts if it goes into my little region by 2 ticks inside, which would mean it would have to break this little micro swing, right? It didn't get it just yet. Now you could redo your region, by the way. Did you know that? Just simply redraw it. See where it would be? It'd be right here. So if you're quick enough at it and you want to change that, just simply do this with it. Get that out of the way. Turn it back on. Okay? That's where you could take this trade and then just simply go for support and resistance, right? There we go. We just got our trade. Notice that didn't feel great. Now you're going to get that when they pop these through these little breakouts because there's a lot of breakout traders out there. Okay? And our resistance is right here. And that'll be good enough on a trade. Of course, if you had more than one left, you'd put another one up here, wouldn't you? Sure. But look at Lightning and you're going to see high, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. So that's resistance right there, and you just got a nice resistance kiss, right? Could you do it again? Sure. And there's lots of traders, by the way, that are looking for this trade right here at this little ellipse here. And if you want to trade against the trend, do the boxes again. I'll show you how to do it if you want to. Right now, we don't know that's it yet because we don't have Lightning formed just yet. And then we're going to wrap here in just a moment. As soon as we get a little Lightning forming, I'll speed it up, and then we're going to you want to try to get down to mid-band on this thing. If it breaks this little swing right here with, you can wait for the close if you want. Absolutely. Let's just do it with a close. The only thing bad about a close, though, is that you won't necessarily, now why didn't I get that fill? Did I? I'm not sure exactly why I didn't get that one. But anyway, you'd protect some coin down here at mid-band anyway. Okay? All right. Deep retraces are still difficult, David? Well, the one thing about a deep retracement is that as a rule, a deep retracement is going to get you a better trade as long as you're looking at the trend itself. Okay, I'd put my stop just above. Well, we already got our target, so we're good. All right. Thanks, everyone, for coming on. SD was turned on. Oh, okay, that's what it was. I didn't have my SE turned on. Obviously, you wouldn't get the trade without turning that on. Let's see. Object Trader only lets you have the one hard stop, right? Where Chart Trader lets you have as many as you want. And that's where you can use the sniper like that, Adam. Absolutely. Support. Got in a little bit late, but if you're looking at that with your eyes, you would have gotten in on that bar right there. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. And try to look at lightning in a totally different light, because lightning scripts are very, very powerful. They can make you a lot of money. And if you don't have to draw them, you can make it even quicker. Okay. And we'll do it again tomorrow in the trading room with the live charts. Thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Adios now. Thanks.